So I'm here today with Bridget. Hi, Bridget.
Hi.
You know, I met Bridget over the summer, this past summer, and she was quickly someone I knew I was going to be friends with and like. And Bridget hosted 2 safety hours over the summer, but I'm actually going to let Bridget tell you what happened this week, because my phone rang at 7:30 in the morning, and lo and behold, it was Bridget on the other end. And I wanted to come and talk to her today because I think what she has to tell you may affect some of you in a very positive way. And so without further ado, Bridget, I'd like you to go ahead and tell what happened to you, and again, perhaps what you learned from this experience and what you would like to pass on to other women.
Okay, thank you. Well, I was on my way to work. I have a very early morning meeting on Wednesdays, and I had to stop by my office that day before my meeting, so it was about 6:45 in the morning. I knew that the office building would be empty. I knew that the parking lot would be empty. So as I was driving in, I sort of scanned the parking lot just to make sure that nobody was there, see if anybody else was in the building. It was empty. So I quickly parked my car in the very front row, left my car running, grabbed my keys to the office building, and went in. I knew I'd be in there for maybe less than a minute. On my way out, and I was in there for less than a minute. On my way out, I locked the office door, the wooden door behind me, and the door to the building is a glass door. It's we can see out, but they can't see in. And as I was getting ready to push my way out so that I could make my 7 o'clock meeting, I noticed a man approaching, and my very first thought was, he doesn't belong here. And so I sort of found myself thinking in my mind, do you work here? No, you don't work here. And he kept coming, and at that point I had completely forgotten that he couldn't see me. And I quick reached down and locked the door. And he came right up to the door, and I felt as if we were both looking at each other, not really realizing that he could probably just see a shadow. And he sort of went, and I said, I'm sorry, do you work here? And he goes, do I look scary to you? And I said, yeah, you do look scary to me. And he goes, I just don't understand why people say that about me, why I look scary to them. Now this man was dressed in dirty jeans. He had a dark sweatshirt with the hood up and a ball cap on. He was wearing eyeglasses, smoking a cigarette butt, and carrying a sack in his hand. And so being approached at a professional building at that hour in the morning by a man like that, yeah, it's a little unnerving. And I was caught off my guard. And he kept asking me, do I look scary to you? And I said, yeah, you do look scary to me. You're a man, I'm a woman, don't you get it? And I felt like he kept trying to say a few things to me that would get me just to relax and open the door and really see him. Whether he was being genuine or not, I will never know. But he said, you're the stupid one. You left your keys in the ignition with the car running. And right at that, I patted my pockets and realized I had nothing on me. I had none of the tools that I had gotten from Vicki. I hadn't got my cell phone, nothing. And I didn't say a word to him. But I did feel comfort in knowing that just to open up 2 more locks, I could get into the office if he tried to do anything. If he reached for anything, I knew that I was safe. And if he tried to go for my car, I was okay with that because I was safe. But I knew that I could get in there, I could see what he was doing, I could very easily describe him, and I could call the police if I needed to. So finally, after him, he actually tried to share his name with me and tried to get me to tell him my name. I said, look, you're carrying this on a little bit too long, and you need to go. You need to leave so that I can get in my car. And with a little bit of hesitation, he did leave. I waited right where I was at until I felt that he was a safe enough distance away. And the words that rang in my head were what Vicki had told me, in that, if there's a man, I don't know, 10, 20 feet away, he could reach you in seconds if he really wanted to do something to you. So I waited until he was about to the middle of the parking lot, and I very quietly unlocked the door. And the minute I did that, I saw him take a pause and a step. And I thought, oh God. So he just kept going, thank God. I got in my car, and I had been able to maintain my composure up until that point. And when I got in my car and I turned the opposite way to leave out the parking lot, there comes the flood of emotions. And it was at that moment that I really realized, what could have happened if I had waited 2 minutes longer. I would have walked out and there would have been a man in my building and nobody else around. And so what I did learn from this is, number one, don't engage the man in conversation. Lock my car, never be in a rush so much that you become complacent and you forget. I left everything in my car. I left my Kubaton, I left my pepper spray, which I had actually reached for in my purse that morning as I was leaving, just to make sure, my comfort was that I felt it in there. And so it was just a very, very eye-opening experience. Vicki said I had been to 2 of her safety hours within the past month, and I was in a rush, and I just completely let everything go out the window. So the message that I would like to pass on is, don't let your guard down. Don't for 1 second become complacent and forget about the things that you've learned, because that's when something like this will take you by surprise.
Bridget, I just want to thank you so much. I'm glad you're okay. I'm super thankful that you made it through, but most importantly, that you learned something from this experience. And it's my hunch that you're never going to be unharmed again. Is that true?
No.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas. You
Thank
have a happy
you.
holiday, and thanks for sharing this with all the ladies out there.
You bet. Thank you.